Dave Resendez crashing in turn 4. Trying to get his lap back was Michael Waltrip as he came all the way around, but ran out of time on that one. There's the Resendez car, which has done a 360, and take a look at the end of his day. Darrell?
Well, I was just questioning Larry Pearson. He's been in the pits. Why was he up in there racing those guys like he was? And he started all this, and it's too bad because poor old David Green had nowhere to go. I was just watching that little battle there because Sterling and Cope are having a pretty good go of it, and Larry shows up in the middle of that crowd, and I was kind of wondering why he would be racing those guys so hard.
Take another look.
Well, he got sideways in the going in, and 63 bumped him once the 92 got sideways. Down on the bottom like that, pulled the air off of him and pulled air off his spoiler and just turned him around.
Backed him up from the leaders, and here's David Green, number 1 in points, the point leader, as they get ready for their final 2 races, October 16th in Martinsville, October 22nd at Rockingham, and Craven has a chance to really gather in some points. He picked up 40 last time we checked. Let's see how bad this is for car number 44, Owensboro, Kentucky's David Green. Ever do any racing with him, or was he so much younger than you?
A lot younger than me. I raced his dad. But he's not in too bad a shape. It's cosmetic, I think.
Take a look at the point battle as they went into today, and that 92-point separation between the Green and Craven team really getting chopped up. Big break for Chad Little, too. Here's Randy.
Well, I would definitely call it more than cosmetic, Darrell. He's definitely going to have an aerodynamic disadvantage here the rest of the way, no question about it. And he was running such a smooth race, just hanging back there about 17th, trying to stay 5 or 6 car lengths behind, chasing that championship. Boy, tremendous right front damage. They're going to open the grill area on the 44 car. That's the best they can do. And, of course, they'll come back in after they strip this away, try not to go another lap down or a lap down, and they'll be back in. They're just going to strip away as much as possible. Unbelievable here. They've got Bob Labonte in this pit, Chris Hussey, who's the crew chief for Bobby Labonte and Winston Cup, as well as the crew chief for the 44 car. They're all down here trying to coach him to a championship.
Yeah, when I said cosmetic, what I meant was he's not out of the race. There's no fluids running out of the car, and the right front tire is still attached. So he does have damage.
He sure does, and we'll get another report on that shortly as to the condition of David Green's car. Randy Pemberton down there now, and he'll update you on that in just a moment. 123 complete.
Continue.
We're back under green at lap 125. Mark Martin in the lead. Nemechek is in second. Waltrip's in the booth. Tomorrow he starts 35th out here in the 500. Hope you'll be with us on TBS. How long does it take you to get over a 500-mile race?
Oh, it used to take, the afternoon. Now it takes a couple of days. Got the 99 car way up out of the groove like something wrong with it.
Yeah, Hillen back up dramatically, going into 3, all the way to the rear. Bobby Hillen in 99 through the, there you see it. And he had such a good run going today. That puts us up to about 17 if that car says sayonara. Luxier, number 99 for Hillen, appears to be in trouble. Lead battle. Martin in the 60. Nemechek. And Mike McLaughlin, former modified champion of NASCAR. What a smooth job he's doing. Phil Parsons, who won this race in May, stays right in, holds on to 4th. Once again, Parsons, just as he did before. We got another motor blowing down turn 2.
That's the 72 car. He was ailing anyway, so that did him in.
Tracy Leslie. 22 cars in the lead lap. Tracy Leslie came in here 10th in points, hoping for a good finish in that Detroit gasket car for the Michigan campaigner. Looks like it's over for him. At 128, keeping track.
I tell you what, nothing's changed much at the front, though. We got us a heck of a race going on here. Nemechek is closed right up on the back of Mark.
4 cars in that group. Now take a look at Terry Labonte back here. Sterling Marlin, Hermie Sadler in that group. Now let's go back to second.
In the lead. The lead.
Leaders in the wall. Second and third. McLaughlin spinning.
Holy cow.
I got to tell you, the spotters should get the Emmy for that one.
What a deal.
What a save for Nemechek. in the 87, and McLaughlin up in 4. Everybody able to take evasive action, and nobody collected. Nemechek fires.
That's a shame, because what happened was McLaughlin got down underneath of Nemechek. I think we'll see it on the replay. I don't think Nemechek's real happy with McLaughlin right now, as a matter of fact.
And I think the back end is bent a bit on that Nemechek car. We'll take a look in a moment.
He gets down under him, and this is one of those old suck the air off my spoiler deals, and he does, but he also gets into the side of the 87 car. Phil Parson did an incredible job. Some of the other guys come along here do. And how these fellas missed them when they start down the racetrack, I do not know. But again, like we said, the spotters did an excellent job.
Here's another look, Darrell.
The back end comes out on the 34. Here it comes. Here it comes. Uh-oh. And he's into the 87, and there he goes.
Did he get into him, or was there space?
Yeah, no, he just brushes him, but it doesn't take anything right at that point in the turn to turn the other car around. Normally, the outside car could get away, but he was close enough and far enough up beside of him that he did get into him.
Pit road closed. Oil up there. You want to get that cleaned up. Boy, everybody making some great moves.
Really did. Hermie Sadler almost got into Sterling Marlin there. Everybody almost got into somebody, but they all made it through there. That was a great job of driving on everybody's part.
Nemechek out. He's okay. This happened on 128. And here comes Mike McLaughlin back into the garage area. Bad break for him. 130 complete at Charlotte. And the complexion changes again. Martin first, Parsons second.
And we're back here at Charlotte, and we're going to take another look at this incident up here in turns 3 and 4 between Nemechek and McLaughlin. And I think we got a couple of views here. Here's what we saw on camera here a while ago, and the 34 car gets the back end sucked around, and he almost misses 87, but he catches him right at the tail at the beginning of the spin there, takes them both into the wall. And now we get another look at it.
Onboard camera
here from Mark Martin's car, and you can see the 34 when he gets into the 87 right there. That's what turned the 87 car around. Normally that inside car will not hit that outside car, but the back end came around so quickly on the 34 that he did get into the 87. And I think Randy's got Joe down there. We'll get his version of what happened.
Well, we've got him here. He's definitely ticked off. Joe Nemechek, man, you killed the car. What happened out there?
Well, I'm going to chalk that up one to Mike McLaughlin. You know, he was making a move, and I'm gonna make it say it's a rookie mistake on his part. You know, he made a move to the inside, which is fine, but his car didn't stick, and it come up and hit me, and I was up giving him all the room I could. And you know, we're going so fast here at Charlotte. You can't touch anybody. Everything's got to be perfect, and once you touch somebody, things are going to happen. But he didn't make his car stick on the bottom, and it's a shame. The Cintas Chevrolet, I thought we were the only ones that had something for Mark. We were just cruising out there, doing just what we were supposed to do to that last 50 laps, but evidently he wanted to win the race too soon.
Okay, better luck tomorrow. Dick Berggren?
Yeah, Mike McLaughlin, what happened?
I made a mistake. I had a run on Joe. I went in at 3. Went in easy so that wouldn't happen, and picked up the throttle, and tail broke loose. My mistake. Phil Fallhigh Tool Chevrolet was running good, and the crew did a good job, but I just feel bad for everybody that I messed up.
Well, maybe a little short, but it takes a tall man to admit a mistake.
You know, that sounds like Todd Bodine here in '92. That happened with Todd, and he said, I flat made a mistake. Well, I like that.
That turn right there, it's just a sucker turn. You can get down on the bottom like that underneath someone, but it won't stay. And it happens time and time again.
133 laps are complete of 200 to be run today. And the 2 car looks like it's hitched to something out there that isn't moving too quickly.
Well, these 6-cylinder motors don't always come right up to speed, particularly if you get bogged down in the restart. Maybe they had a problem getting gears.
But I mean gear, back-end gear?
No, just transmit. The engines are real slow to respond sometimes, and if you happen to have to get out of the gas because somebody in front of you didn't go when they're supposed to, the other guys can really get a big jump on you.
Well, Michael Waltrip's made up the lap another time. There's the 30 breaking out in front of Mark Martin, your leader. And look at Chad Little making a dive to the inside. Car number 23. Chad Little on his way.
You'll see Chad got past the car on the outside of him going into corner. And I was watching to see if that back end was going to come around on that 23 car, but he held it down and got past the car. They didn't go side by side.
Elton Sawyer's 38 right there, mixing up the white car, red numeral. Number 38, that's Elton Sawyer. Phil Parsons right behind him. The big move, Chad Little looking for that first Grand National win, closes in on Mark Martin. Michael Waltrip, the yellow Pennzoil car, has made up his lap. Can he stay there? Doesn't look like it as they come out of 4 and back through the tri-oval to complete lap 138.
Well, Michael's car is it's just not up to the holding Mark off. And Mark wants to keep Michael a lap down because this is one less car he has to contend with.
Look at Phil Parsons to 3rd. Drops Elton Sawyer to 4th.
Uh-oh, here we go. Whoa. Mark closed the door on Chad there because he did not want Chad to get under him going down the back straightaway there.
Chad Little looks like he's got a lot of stuff in that car 23 today. Almost
really
got the stuff and knocked out of it right there.
Yeah, he almost did a little too much shopping that time back. Well, what that is, I just realized, that's the Winn-Dixie car racing the Harris Teeter car. Might be a little rivalry there.
Home delivery.
And the Ford credit, you know, there's a bunch of, I just realized something else too, Ken. There's a bunch of Fords at the front of this race right now.
Yeah, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Bill Parsons Chevrolet trying to break it up out there.
And Uncle Mike, I mean, he is just driving the wheels off that old Pennzoil Pontiac, trying to keep Mark behind him and having some success at it.
Back under him again, staying there. Screaming on the radio, telling there's debris in turn 2.
Oh, yeah. And if they'll just wait a minute and not get a hold of something, there will be debris in turn 2.
Mark Martin, number 61st. Chad Little 2nd. Elton Sawyer in 3rd. Michael Waltrip having to fight to make up a lap. He's made it up a couple of times, and each time Martin is right there in that squabble. Takes it away from him again.
Mark gets off of turn 4 real nice down low and gets under Michael, but Michael's got a high line to 1 and 2 here, and he's able to hang right along beside of Mark. That makes Mark's car real uncomfortable. That's that sucking air off the back of that spoiler going through that corner that you don't want to feel.
2-car Craven has backed up to 12th, while David Green, the point leader, is back in 21st. We need to get a report on that number 2 Craven car. So what's going on there?
You see what Mark did in? He couldn't get into the turn on the inside of Michael. He had to back out the gas, and that backed everybody behind him up. Everybody had to lift a little bit, and Chad Little just about run in the back of Mark.
Take a look at Phil Parsons on the outside of number 23, Chad Little. Lost him there. He looked like he had him in turn 1.
It was this race in May when Phil Parsons, you heard very little of him in the first 100 miles, but the second 100 laps of this race, he came to the front and drove off and left them, and I'm still thinking he can do that.
Said it was the most important win of his career. And here's Parsons right back in it again in the 29. Looks to the inside of Little as they move down across the start-finish line, completing 142 laps. And Terry Labonte, the white number 14, that Darrell was talking about earlier, is really beginning to account for himself. He's intending to be around for the checkers. Here's Rick Benjamin.
Now we're joined in the Pit Communications Center, Ken, by Kenny Schrader, who was out early in his AC Delco Chevrolet today. Can you believe this racing, Ken?
Oh, I'll tell you what, attrition just really coming into play here today. But right now, I mean, just anyone in that blanket, like Darrell says, I'd really have to watch for Terry, because Terry's not going to show what he's got until it's really time.
You think Chad Little's got something for Mark Martin the way it looks?
Well, one thing about Chad, whatever he's got, we're going to see it as soon as he can show it.
What put you out earlier today?
Driver failure. I was flirting with disaster, and I finally let it get away from me.
Do you like the new surface here at Charlotte?
They did a good job on it. You know, the tires are real good. We just got run around top, and the car was a little bit loose, and I kept moving up a little higher and higher, and all of a sudden I didn't have room to catch it.
Is it patience that's the key here when you're 3 wide like this?
Well, I think it's just timely moves there. I mean, Terry just made a real good move there, but Terry knows this thing's 200 laps, and you know, he's had a real good year with that MW car, and he'll come on here at the end.
He's working his way back toward the front, Ken Squire. Meantime, we've got some great action here with Chad Little leading a bunch of cars.
And patience is not the word right now, Darrell. Holy smokes.
This is like a last lap shootout. They're changing positions here quicker than they change money in Las Vegas. I'm telling you, this is a heck of a deal.